Good morning, students. Today we are learning the third part of a fair play story. So, days passed, and as ill luck would have it, Alku Chaudhary found himself in a tight spot. One of his fine pair of bullocks died, and he sold the other to Samju Saho, a cart driver of the village. The understanding was that Saho would pay the price of the bullocks in a month's time. It so happened that the bullock died within a month. So, after the judgment of Falgu Chaudhary for the Juman was very upset and he stopped picking. They became the enemy of each other, and Juman wanted to take a revenge on him. So days passed and the Algu Chaudhary was in the tight spot, means he is struggling economically, financially. So one of his pair of bullock died, so he other one sold to Samju Saho, but who was a cart driver. But the understanding was made between them. The pay the price of the bullock in month's time. So the Samju Saho supposed to pay the price of the money within a month, but the bullock died within a month. Several months after the bullock's death, Algu reminded Sahu of the money he hadn't yet paid. Sahu got very annoyed. He can't pay you a penny for the wretched beast you sold me. He bought us nothing but ruin. I have a bullock. Use it for a month and then return it to me. No money for the dead bullock, he said angrily. So within a month the bullock died. So Samju Sahu was very angry, and when Alku Chaudhary reminded him of the money, he was very annoyed, and he said he won't give money. If he want, he can use his bullock for 1 month and give it back. Algu decided to refer the case to the Panchayat. For a second time in a few months, preparation for holding the Panchayat were made, and both the parties started meeting people seeking their support. So within a month, Algu Chaudhary reported it to the Panchayat. Now let's see what happens. The Panchayat was held under the old banyan tree. Algu stood up and said, "The voice of the Panch is the voice of God. Let Sahu nominate the head Panch. I will abide by his decision." So Panchayat was held under the banyan tree, and Algu stood up and said, "The voice of the Panch is the voice of God," like the Jumman Sant said, "and let Sahu nominate the head Panch." So he gave a Sahu a opinion and choice to choose the head Panch to nominate it, and let his decision I will abide. Sahu saw his chance and proposed the name of Juman. Algu's heart sunk and turned pale, but what could he do? So Sahu also took a revenge. He also took a chance and he took the name of Juman to be a head Panch. And hearing that, Algu was sad, but he couldn't do anything. The moment Juman became head Panch, he realized his responsibility as judge and the dignity of his office. Could he, seated in that high place, have his revenge now? He thought and thought. So sitting on the high place, Juman thought. Now he understood what is the responsibility. He must not allow his personal feelings to come in the way of speaking the truth and doing justice. So Juman was thinking that now I will not come over my personal revenge. I will do justice to the one who is right. Both Algu and Sahu started their cases. They were cross-examined and the case was considered deeply. Then Juman stood up and announced, "It is our opinion that Sahu should pay Algu the price of the bullock. When Sahu bought the bullock, it suffered from no disability or disease." So the Juman announced his judgment that the Sahu has to pay the money. The reason behind it that because when he purchased the bullock was not suffering from any disability or disease. The death of the bullock was unfortunate, but Algu cannot be blamed for it. Algu could not contain his feelings. He stood up and said loudly over and over again, "Victory to the Panchayat. This is justice. God lives in the voice of the Panch." So hearing the judgment in the part of Algu, Algu was very happy. So he said no. He announced again and again the God lives in the heart of the Panch. Soon after, Jumman came to Algu, embraced him and said, since the last panchayat I had become your enemy. Today I realize what it meant to be a Panch. A Panch has no friend nor enemy. He knows only justice. Let's no one derived from the path of justice and truth for friendship or enmity. Algu embraced his friend and wept, and his tears washed away all the dirt of misunderstanding between them. So the judgment of Jumman washed away all the misunderstandings between the Algu Chaudhary and him. See, sitting on the high post, he realized what is true and how to stand for the truth. Dear students, together with that, let us do working with the text. Match the sentences under A with those under 2. So, Jumman and Algu were the best friend. Okay. So, let's go through. So, Jumman and Algu were the best of friends. In the absence of one, the other took care of his family. Jumman's son transferred her property to him. The condition was that he would be responsible for his welfare. The aunt decided to appeal to the panchayat. She wanted justice. Algu was unwillingly to support the aunt. The bond of friendship between him and Jumman was very strong, and the Jumman was very happy to hear Algu's name as head punch. He believed that his friend would never go against him. So, this is the understanding. A, you have to join with the B. So, this is the way you have to join it in your notebook. Next, we shall go, what says this, to whom and why. So, my wife knows best how to run the house. Jumman said to his old aunt. He wanted her property but didn't want to take care of her. Second, but it is right, my son, to keep mum and not say what you consider just and fair. So the old aunt said this to Algu Chaudhary. He was unwilling to get involved in his friend's personal matters and thus reclined towards the pleas of the aunt. What have you to say in your defense? Algu Chaudhary said to his friend Jumman Sheikh, as the head of the panchayat, he wanted to be fair and listen to both the parties. I can't pay you a penny for the rich beast you sold me. Vic sold me. So this is said, Sahu said to the Algu Chaudhary. He had demanded to be paid for the bullocks Sahu had brought for him. And the last one is victory to the panchayat. This is justice spoken to by Algu said to this after the last panchayat when Jumman had done justice to him as the head. He could have given the verdict against Algu Chaudhary like Algu had done in the matter of his aunt. But the seat of panchayat made him the act fair and just. So dear students, both these exercise, question number 1, match the following, and question number 2, what says this to whom and why, you have to write it down in your notebook with good handwriting. Have a good day and thank you.